welcome back to The Last of Us Part 2. So today we just need to finish off this part of downtown Seattle. So basically last time we got some saves, found a bunch of parts, upgraded my rifle, went to the bank and got a shotgun and that. And I also accidentally, without recording, went in here and collected the stuff here. Basically there was some armor from a revolver, some parts, there was one of the trading cards, it was Big Blue here. So I did that off screen by accident, sorry you guys, but there wasn't much of interest here. It was basically just, it had that card, some different parts, been scrapped to collect. I didn't grab this stuff, so good thing I came back actually. Brown bat, just some more stuff on the shelves here and that, like stuff to craft with. Then in the bathrooms back here there was an infected in the middle stall for a jump scare. Basically it just flings the door open and you have to kill it and put a bullet in its brain, simple as. And then a key for a place called Barco's. This, so as you can imagine it's a key for a place called Barco's. So that's where we're going to go next actually, so let's go there now. I am sorry for the abrupt end last time. It was just because the video was getting kind of long. I was hoping to do this area in one video, but that just wasn't really possible because it just takes so damn long to do everything. But hopefully it isn't too much of a problem, and we should almost definitely get it all done in this video since there's only a few places left to explore, and then the two places we need to go to look for gas so we can get to the Saravina Hotel, but that'll probably be next video. So here we are at Barco's, the pet store.
Something.
Safe house.
Propaganda.
Except they were more successful.
Protectors of the Constitution.
Got a stun bomb.
Took multiple lives. Great dudes.
And here we have a holster, which is actually super useful. Definitely pick this up. So now we can just carry two long guns.
They were these feral cats I have for Angel Jackson. They didn't seem to know what it was. I like those special shits. You have any others? No, this wasn't the right thing. Maybe everyone don't want to be nice and creepy. I think we got everything.
I made that decision, not you, Ellie. Get that. And that. The thing about this survival tree is it's cool, but it's sort of a thing like the increased health and the faster using of health kits is cool, but the listening mode, movement speed isn't that great. It's one of those things that you can use some points if you want to upgrade it, but yeah, which I still find funny. because again, they just had one tiny little revolt in this city here in Seattle, and they did super well. But when it came to the Fireflies, who had groups in every city, they failed miserably and got annihilated by the military. Stupid, but whatever. Anyway, so we're now gonna move on and start trying to get that fuel. First stop is the Dome, which is a synagogue, so just over here. Problem is, if you ride past here, it activates the dialogue automatically, which is annoying because now they're not going to say anything, even though they usually would. So, kind of a pain, but nothing I can do about it. Just one of those.
Fedra secured the shit out of this place. Austrians have food shortages. And people get desperate.
That's one way of looking at it, yeah. Now, one thing I would like to mention is I am shortening down on the playthroughs that I'm doing, because I've done several different games, but I'm just going to be focusing on the more popular ones that I'm doing, so Borderlands 3, Skyrim, The Last of Us Part 2, and I'll also be doing Danganronpa as well. I may do some co-op videos occasionally, but me and Devstation Nation haven't done anything together in a while now, so I don't know whether we'll ever do any more videos together, because it's just one of those things that two different people to do a video together both need to have the time and all that to do it. You know, we both have different schedules and it's difficult to be able to do it together, especially since it's not like a career at the moment, if you know what I mean. That eventually I might do this as like a job, but I'm doing it now for, you know, fun, to share my interests with you guys. But if I do well enough, then I'll be able to do it as a job, perhaps. But as of now, I'm not like earning anything, and obviously there are other things that I have to do. So again, if I do end up earning money off doing YouTube, then I'll probably do it as a full-time job, and then I'll be able to focus on it. But until then, I'll have to fit it in around my usual schedule. At the moment, because of, you know, the whole global pandemic thing, I've got plenty of time, but when things go back to normal, the amount of videos I do may go down a little, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So, either way, everything will be fine for now. There's not much of a problem, so don't need to worry. Problem solved. See, I think my accuracy's actually gotten better. Optimism. I think the reason they did this is to make it seem like maybe the WLF has been wiped out or moved on and there's nobody actually here in Seattle or something. I don't know exactly, but it's, you know, it's cool to still be fighting infected, but the quietness is like one of those really creepy things where it's just there's no noise whatsoever. Yes, it is.
How can we tell? First in the flames? It's just a dumb joke. Yeah, unlike the other ones. You shut it.
Yep.
This place brings back all my memories. My sister used to drag me all the time. You never struck me as much of a believer. Nah. I like it when I'm surprised. You mean after Outbreak? That, and the Inquisition, and the Holocaust. My family always made me laugh.
I'm surprised she knew all that, considering her age being probably around Ellie's, maybe a year either side. She wouldn't know much about things like the Holocaust unless she was told, so...
God damn it. Hey, language. How social. It's empty. That sucks. I'll try around like the house garage. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, the reason you can need to come here first is to get that can to get the fuel in. I've never been to the courthouse first, I don't know whether if you go there first that's empty and this has the fuel in it or what, but I presume that it'll be the same, that this will always be empty, but you need to come here to get the fuel can first, so... I do enjoy these little bonding moments between Ellie and Dina. Makes them feel more like real people and not just characters in a game. Which isn't something I say I criticise a lot of games for, but it's just there are some games where they give you a main character that you know nothing about, they don't have any sort of relationships or anything, and you just can't feel for them, if you know what I mean. The characters that if they died or something happened to them, you're like, I don't care. But they make these characters feel real, and you know, if they get hurt then you sort of feel it as well, in a way, which is something I do admire some like developers for doing, but it's not always easy to do, especially if you do a game that's like a one-off, like it's not in a series of games. Because it's been a long time since the first Last of Us and everyone was super excited to see Ellie and Joel back and all that stuff because they missed them, and then they killed Joel and boy were people angry because in the trailers they had made it look like Joel and Ellie were together, like he helped her on this vengeance mission. They never had any hint towards him being the person she was getting revenge for, which, I mean, it's cool not to reveal anything, people be in the dark about it, but killing Joel I just think was a mistake, because he was just one of those characters that he was so important because Ellie loved him and he loved her, you know, had that bond, and people loved him, and playing as Ellie's cool, but just him not being, well, him being dead was probably a mistake if you ask me.
Ellie, careful. It's okay. It's holding.
So, I get the whole, you know, a few years later and she's got a life and then something's been taken from her and she's getting revenge, but they could have put it anything else. Like, for example, it could have been that Dina got kidnapped and he went to get her back, or something like that, like anything, honestly. Or from the way I saw it, it actually kind of looked like she was going after the Fireflies for something, because on the trailers you saw her in an area with Firefly logos, blood on her hands, and she was singing, and then she said she'd get every last one of them, so...
In the future. is a Hebrew calendar. For the new year, my sister used to give me an apple dipped in honey. I'm not craving it.
Anyway, so if they're gonna make a third Last of Us, I don't know what they're gonna do. The chances are it'll be something like Ellie trying to get Dina back, because like it'll have something to do with them, I presume, you know, because Dina's like the new Joel adventuring, and they're adventuring together, and they're in love and stuff. So I presume it'll be involving the two of them in some sort of journey or something. Maybe they're going somewhere together. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with that. And if they do indeed make another Last of Us, they probably will, because it's such a loved series. But who knows? A lot of people criticize this game for, killing off Joel, for making Ellie just seem like a murderous psychopath and goes around killing anybody and everybody. But yeah, it would just... We'll just have to see what happens, and if they are going to release a new one, I am so looking forward to it, because it's just, I love this series.
My sister always avoided cuties. That's probably why. She just was not one. She'd sometimes wake up screaming in the middle of the night. That's rough. We always had a backpack so we could bail if something had happened. Never stayed in one place for a few weeks. It sucked.
Got a tank here.
Yikes. These guys had a bad day. What is it? Burnt skeletons? Not how I'd want to go out. I don't like those astronauts. One of the early moon missions, there was an electric fire and the astronauts burned up in the capsule. Well, at least they died from something worthwhile. Exactly. These guys are just assholes killed by assholes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is an Abrams. I'm not entirely sure, because I don't know my modern tanks. I'm better with World War II tanks, but don't go asking me about them, because I'm not a historian. But I think that might be an Abrams. I don't know. Again, I'm British, so I don't know much about American tanks or modern tanks in general, really, so don't bother asking if you're wondering. And if you do know, then feel free to correct me. I'd like to know. So now we need to head over to the courthouse to try and get fuel there, so that's where we're gonna go.
Yeah. When I first got to Jackson, I was so overwhelmed by people. I was overwhelmed by all the food. I remember the first week just gorging myself. Stuffing food in all my pockets for fear that was going on. I saw that. You did that. I did. I remember thinking, who was this stringy girl stealing all the jerky? Who would steal that much jerky?
Okay, here's the courthouse. I do love, honestly, how the effects of the city, like in the background, and also how detailed like all the shrubbery and that is, because obviously it's been years since the outbreaks and everything's overgrown and rotted away. I think it's nice, the amount of detail and effort they put into the game. It's just a shame that the story was a bit of a letdown. It wasn't bad, but you know, it could have been better if I'm completely honest. I think it suffers from one of those, the sequel is never as good as the original things, which pretty much happens to every single game. Like, the sequel has better graphics and stuff like that, but it doesn't have that, you know, wow factor or that love that the first one in the series had. And it's not because they didn't care for it, because they put a lot of effort into this game and I love it. Whoops. But I wish that the sequel, well, meaning this game, had a story as good as the first one. And one of my main complaints, that I don't know whether that's just me or what, is the fact that they made like half the game where you play as Abby and get to know her story. Because if I'm completely honest, I personally don't care. Because Abby isn't the main character. We don't care about Abby. You know, she comes along, she kills Joel, so immediately everyone hates her. You know, and when we find out why, it's like, is that justifiable? She's not the only person it's happened to, and it's a bit petty if you ask me, but, you know, you have to tell me what you think when we get there. It's kind of weird that when I'm concentrating in the game I go really quiet, so I'm sorry if I'm not talking. I'm just trying not to get spotted. Well, that didn't go well at all. Well, could have gone worse.
Okay. That it? It's fine, I guess. I wonder what it is. Sit down. Look at evidence. Try to tell something lying. Just give me 5 minutes of my life. I'll tell you if you're lying or not. Oh, wow. Okay.
Learned a bit too much there. Yeah, being on the jury wouldn't be as fun as you think. Considering your decision decides the fate of that person, you know, you could put an innocent person in jail or let a guilty person walk free, live in your conscience, and if they were in fact guilty and when they got out of jail, they may come for you, you know. It could be kind of concerning. You know, it's just, I don't know. I personally wouldn't want to be on a jury for a trial or anything, because, you know, I'd be too worried about getting it wrong or, you know, putting myself in danger, but whatever. Probably not ever going to be on a jury, so I don't need to worry about that.
You ever heard of courthouse before? No. You're telling me you never got in trouble back in Boston? Oh, I got in trouble. But never went to the courthouse.
Yeah, that time when you got bitten. Remember that, Ellie? Probably a lot of trouble right there. I'm kind of surprised she never bothers to tell Dina that she's infected. You know, because I get not wanting to tell everyone, because half the people probably wouldn't believe her, and then the other half would probably think she's like a freak or something. But considering she's in love with Dina, you know, she could at least tell her. It's not like if there's anyone else around now. She could just tell her while they're here and not tell anyone else. Problem solved. But never mind.
This might come in handy. What's it say? This guy was a federal commander or something. They were losing to the WLF and trying to escape. How big is this group of people? You don't need a lot for that vicious. We need to be careful. Let's just be smart. Okay, Jesse.
860722. Boom. Grab everything.
Federal soldiers. Check out that wall. They were executed. Jesus. They weren't just executed. They shot them to pieces. Maybe bullets won't scare us yet. Maybe they deserved it. Maybe. Right on herself, I guess.
Yeah, so by the looks of things, he was obviously probably going to get killed for being in Fedra, and unless he left, you know, his friends. Sandra wanted to save him, but
That's what the note said. Let's get down here.
be careful sliding down a cable with your bare hands. Might hurt. Yeah, be careful. The last time Ellie went in an elevator shaft, well, Joel ended up falling, nearly dying. If you've played the first game, you'd know that. Okay, that's them dealt with.
Jesus. I think it's a zombie. This is good that I'm moving in and out of the garage. Let's find this.
Okie. Yeah, because like I said earlier, there's no canister here or anything, so unless you go to the synagogue first, you'd have to come here and then come back later.
God, gasoline. Our lives changing.
That smile was creepy. And also, there's no way she put enough in there in that short amount of time to power that generator long enough to open the gate. Through the gate.
Dina, come on. Okay, let go.
Could have just dropped it.
Thanks.
Funny how she said babe. And how did Shimmer manage to get here and know that's where we were coming from? Guess she heard all the shooting and was totally fine with it. Kind of knowing that she put J on there for Joel, I presume. Okay.
Homesick? A little bit. You? Same. I said I'm roof over my head. You know, I've always dreamed of fixing up a farm just outside of Jackson. Why would you stay in the room? I don't know. I like the idea of a new space. Sounds lonely. And what are you doing? So we're gonna raise sheep and more cows. Oh, that was an adventure. I found a new one. Hey, it's a big city. We barely started looking. No, just let me see one.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna end the video here. Next episode, we will head over to the Saravina Hotel. So, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and turn your notifications on so that you don't miss any of my videos. So, I will see you guys next time on The Last of Us Part 2. Thank you guys, and goodbye.